So hey guys, good morning. So just tell me, is there a better place than having your morning coffee than under a Miata? So yesterday evening I already ordered a new starter motor, so that is off the list. And before I tackle all the electricity of this vehicle today, I just wanted to tell you a little story and the reason why I'm investing so much time and energy into this old car. Because actually this car and me, we have a love-hate relationship. I love this car since my mother got it as a new one, and I used to sneak in the house and steal the keys just to take it out for a little spin when she was not around. It was also around the same time that I got interested in drifting, and it was with this car that I did my first skids, until one particular weekend. That weekend I sneaked into the house, took the car keys like I normally did, and took the car out for a spin. I had a friend with me as a passenger and I wanted to show off with my non-drift skills, and I smashed the car into a concrete wall. So the whole front of the car was completely damaged, but I managed within one weekend to repair all the broken parts, get the car resprayed, and by the end of the weekend, when my mom came home, the car was back standing in the garage. So it was only after some time that I felt some repeat and that I had to come clear with my mom. So I showed her all the damage that was left on the car that I did not have time to repair, and this is when she got really angry. The car was sent off to a body shop, got completely professionally repaired, and I, as a student, I had to work my whole summer holidays to pay back the invoices. But I never really explained to her what was the real reason. I quickly had to make up some story about me working in the shed and some wood falling off, a shelf or something, hitting the car, and this is where the damage came from. But I never dared to explain her what really happened. After this, she kept the car keys on her, and I never had the chance to drive the car ever again. So Mom, if you're watching this video now, I'm really sorry about what happened back then, but you had to find out one day. Luckily, after all these years, I'm holding again the keys. I never owned a convertible before, but now with the top down, I'm already sure I'm going to appreciate how easy it's going to be to work on the inside. So next thing up, getting off as much as dashboard panels as possible, and if there's some faulty wire I should be able to see it. Here we have the result, a full trunk of interior parts and a not so full interior. So what I did, I got out as much as interior panels as possible just to gain access underneath the dashboard here to the wiring looms. Did the same thing for the center console and the glove box. So if there was white smoke coming from under the dashboard because of a short circuit, I should be able to find some wires having melted or having burn marks on them. And I'm also going to get out this ignition switch to check this one if this is not faulty. This is getting more and more frustrating. So I checked all the wires underneath the dashboard. I checked all the wires in the motor compartment, all the fuses that I could find, and nothing gives a reason why there was so much white smoke. I cannot find anything wrong except for some wires that have been fiddled around with. But I think this is because my mom had a problem with the alarm system a couple of years ago, so I guess they made some adjustments to repair this. And I found this little fuse that blew, but yeah, it's the one from the cigarette lighter, so that's also no reason. So yeah, keep on searching. Another thing that I still have on my list is checking out this ignition switch. And if you might have seen the previous video, you might remember that the mechanic told me that even if he would try to put the key inside the key lock, the car would already try to start itself. So I'm ready to bet my money that all the problems are caused by this thing. And maybe also because I'm starting to run out of options and ideas here, because the cable loom seems to be okay. This switch is mounted behind the barrel, and when you turn the key, this little black slot here at the rear of the switch, it will turn together with the key and it will put the switch into a specific position. So some of the contact points inside of the switch are going to be connected together, and they will put an electric tension on one of these output pins. This is why when you turn the key and you put it into the ACC position, which is the first position of your switch, your radio goes on, your lights go on, but by example you don't have your fuel pump. To have the fuel pump, you have to turn the key and put the switch into the on position, and to have your starter motor you even have to turn it one further to have the right current on the right pin. I was lucky enough to find this workshop manual on the internet, which clearly explains how to check the ignition switch. So according to the manual, what we have to do is just check the continuity between the different terminal pins. Different terminal pins, which are laid out here like this: ST, B1, ignition 2, ACC, B2, ignition 1. So this should be like this. And then we need to put the switch with a little black tab in the rear into each position, lock ACC on and start, and then check the continuity between the corresponding pins. To check continuity, how to do this, you need to put your multimeter on the little sound symbol here on the bottom, and what happens is when there is continuity, it will emit some buzzing sound like this. So if I touch these, we hear this buzzing sound. From here on, it's just a walk in the park. We have to put the switch into each of the positions and then check if we have a buzzing sound at a given points. First position, the lock position. So key all the way to the left. And normally when I probe them, the whole lock position should not give continuity, so any of the pins should make a sound. So let's try that. Seems to be okay. Just going round. No connections, no sound. So the lock position is okay. Go one click further to the ACC position, and we do the same thing, just probing around, connecting any of the pins. Nothing on this one. Connecting the middle one to the other ones. So here I have a connection, but it's okay because I'm probing the B1 on top and the ACC at the bottom. And according to the manual, this should make a sound, so that is okay. Continue with the rest. Going again to the position, that's okay. And none of the other pins are making a sound. So ACC position is okay. Let's go to the on position. Again, probing around. Nothing. So here we have B1 and ignition 1. B1 and ignition 1 should make a sound, so that is okay. And it also should make a sound at the ACC, so that's also okay. We have G2 and B2. G2 and B2, that is normal. Ignition 1 and ACC. All good. Here we have B2 and ignition 2. B2, ignition 2, that's okay. So the Miata is giving away her secrets because I'm here now probing the ACC pin, which is giving connection to the ignition 1, but according to the manual, ACC and B1 should not be connected, which they are. So, this switch is faulty. We found the problem. I quickly got inside of the car to give you a more visual explanation about what I think what went wrong. We all know the horrible sound an engine makes when you try to start it and you keep your key too long into the starting position, or even worse, when you try to start your car when your engine is already running. What happens then is that your starter motor is not trying to make your car run, but it's your engine running your starter motor at a much higher RPM than it was initially designed for. So just imagine your starter motor switching on when you're driving on a highway at 120 kilometers an hour. And that is exactly what happened because of this faulty ignition switch. So maybe at first it was not all the time, and these were the moments when my mom smelled this burning smell inside of the car, until the problem became more and more permanently, and it was sending the starter motor to nirvana. That's it for today's video. I'm going to continue searching the wire loom for some faulty wires, and we will see each other as soon as I got the replacement parts.